Hi, it's Tesla again. If you watched our video last week on the dehydrated beets, you saw me and my dad. And this week again, my mom's outside and so is my dad. He's smoking a pork butt and I don't know what my mom's doing, but so I took over the kitchen today, and today we're gonna make pickled onions. My dad, like I said, he's smoking the pork butt, and so we're gonna have maybe Carnitas or maybe Cochinita Pibil, which is a recipe from the Yucatan. And my friend, my roommate 3 years ago was from Belize, and she made cochinita for me. And ever since then, I've been making these pickled onions by myself. So one of the things I love so much about this recipe is that it's so easy to do and there's not that many ingredients. So it's really cheap and affordable and tasty. So like I said, there's not that many ingredients. There's the onions, obviously. There's salt, sugar, black pepper, whole black peppercorns, and apple cider vinegar. And then more onions. So the version that I'm making is actually 3 times the original recipe that I based my kind of recipe off of, but that's just because we eat a lot in the Steinbrook household. So to do the onions, you can just I cut off the top and the bottom first. My mom likes to chop onions with the peel on, which I don't understand, but anyway, and then I take the peel off, if I can get it off. And then I just cut it in half, vertically. And then you want to get it as thin as you can. So when I do it at home, I like to use the mandolin and just chop them in half vertically, and then use the mandolin on the thinnest slicer to get it, but you can kind of do it however you want. You can see some of them are chopped up a little bit more fine. We're going to use some of it, I think, in a different meal, of course, because it's Steinbrook, so. And we'll just put all these in here. So now that we've got all that, we're gonna use a smaller bowl and put the salt. What I was gonna say earlier on the salt, and I forgot to mention, is you wanna make sure that you're using just regular, like, table salt, not kosher salt, because it's much bigger and you'll get a different amount of salt. That's Dorothy Steinbrook's piece for this video. And then we're gonna put the sugar. And then I'm using organic apple cider unfiltered vinegar. And that's only because I'm at home and I get to be fancy right now, but typically I just use the apple cider vinegar from Safeway. Doesn't really matter which one you use. So that's 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. Okay, and mix it together. Had to step out and ask my mom for the whisk since it's not my kitchen. I don't know where things are in here. So make sure that all the sugar and salt is dissolved. Better start using the raw unfiltered stuff. It dissolves quicker. So then we're gonna do, let's see, 1/2 teaspoon. So we're gonna do, I believe it's 3 1/2 teaspoons of the whole black peppercorns. And like I said, this is the Steinbrook size recipe. So if you're just making one, you would just use 1/2 teaspoon. And you could probably use a significantly smaller jar. So then we'll make sure those are kind of spread around. I like black peppercorns. And then we just take it and pour it in. Use this. Make sure we get all of it in there. Okay. And then I'm gonna take it over to the sink and just fill it as much, fill it enough to cover all the onions. Okay, so as you can see, I filled it with water up until all the onions were submerged. And my mom and I were just talking about whether or not it should be mixed around, and the answer is no. You should not mix it around. So you're just gonna leave it like this, put the top on it. It can be any kind of top. It doesn't have to be glass or metal or anything like that. And then set it aside for an hour. And if you're not gonna eat it right away after an hour, you can set it in the fridge. They'll keep for a really long time in the fridge. So that's what we do. We just keep a big jar in the fridge and eat them when we're eating meat of any kind, which is fairly often. So, all right. Thanks for watching.